Yeah, you are.
Okay, so it was a really cool experience doing this Group 4 project with all the different schools. I mean, it was cool. You know, we got to talk to people in Ukraine and Britain, and it's cool just learning about science with different countries. I mean, IB is this whole thing that connects all these schools together under a certain goal to help, kids achieve a higher level of education. So it was really enlightening to see that we're doing, everyone starts in a classroom setting, but everyone around the world is kind of doing the same thing. And especially in IB, everyone's really doing the same project, and that's what this was about, comparing data and experiments across the sea. And so the time difference was cool because that communication was a little off, but it just showed the differences between the countries, and I thought that was a really cool experience.
Alright, so it was cool meeting with all the different schools, communicating. I mean, it was a little difficult, but we got through it. It just, IB really has taught us how to do many different things. We learned to work together as a team, and it just really, it really showed up when we were working with the teams from the other countries, and it just was a really cool experience.
Okay. So it was really fun working with all the international people. There were a lot of challenges with it, given a really generalized topic of water and having to narrow that down into one lab, getting all of our ideas across in all of the emails, but we were able to overcome it, have a successful lab. Yeah.
So the IB Group 4 project was really interesting to do. It was like annoying a little bit, getting emails 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning to wake you up, but in the end, it was really good experience. Getting a chance to collaborate with kids across the world, I mean, you don't do that every day, and to just do that for about a week or 2 straight, it's a really good experience. Wouldn't pass it up.
So yeah, the Group 4 project, it was really fun to do, working with all the different schools. I mean, the only hardest part about it was getting emails early in the morning. Then when I email them, it's really late for them as well, so yeah.
It was fun meeting new people around the world and collaborating on our lab. And it was great how we can compare our data and see how effective our procedures were on examining the quality of the water. And it was a challenge to see on the time differences, but...
So this project was really interesting because it incorporated a lot of different aspects that we're not usually used to doing with our common IAs, but now we're collaborating with on an international level. And I found that was very helpful because we found more evidence to support our findings and see if other countries or other people or other test groups got the same results from their experiments. But it was very difficult to try and synchronize and make it easy for us to communicate because there was such different time differences and problems with communication. So this was an overall good learning experience though.
So those previous talks were just kind of everyone in our Armio Group 4 project for IB Bio, and they were just talking about kind of their experiences with the whole project, and there was definitely a lot of interesting use because it was definitely an interesting thing. It was new to everyone, but at the same time, part of that experience was a lot of the difficulties. I mean, communicating on an international basis in itself it's not an easy task. The time difference, as many people stated, is hard to do, and especially everyone had different deadlines with the 3 different schools, so we were kind of pushed to the limit, and with balancing other workload, it was definitely a hard task. So I mean, improvements to this thing I would say a longer time, because it's just so hard to talk to people. I mean, even if you do a project in your own school, it's hard to do stuff internationally with time differences and emails and not being able to talk to them directly. It's all kind of touch and go. So it was definitely a good experience, and I think everyone benefited from it. But there's definitely the hardships that come along with it. But that's school and that's life, so I think it was good though in the end.